Hey there, and welcome to the discussion series. I'm your host, XollFury, and today's guest is the one, the only, the sexy Psychochef. Good day, sir.
Hey XollFury, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm not too shabby.
All right, so what are we going to be talking about today, sir?
Today we will be talking about the Elementalist Profession.
Correct. Alrighty. Yeah, I have been going through all of the different professions with various people who plan on maining them, and Psychochef here plans on maining an elementalist. So,
Indeed.
why don't you go ahead and give our listeners a brief overview of what the elementalist actually is?
With pleasure. So the Elementalist is your basic caster class. It has elemental attunements, obviously, to the four different elements being earth, water, fire, and air, and can swap between any given element whenever they please, which I think that's kind of a really cool aspect, little twist on a caster class.
That's one of the coolest parts, I think, is because you have, the mage class in a lot of different MMOs, but
Yeah.
they're, it seems like, I mean, in WoW you had your arcane fire and frost specs,
hmm
but it didn't seem like you ever only exclusively used one. Um, well, actually, no, you actually kind of did exclusively use one. I don't know what
Well,
I'm talking about. I'm a little groggy right now. No,
yeah.
like,
But, I mean,
go for it.
in WoW they had you could have one or the other, but you couldn't like switch at will. You during
Right.
any combat situation, whatever, you had to. If you're fire and you start combat, you're only in fire. You can't change to arcane or frost or anything else. You have to stay in your specific spec, and you have like no freedom.
Right, right. I'm more meant with the abilities you. I mean, if you were arcane, you would obviously your main rotation would be arcane spells, but you also use the frost, whatever huge AOE nuke thing that is a lot.
Oh
So
yeah, the blizzard.
yeah. But anyways, no, with the elementalist though, you can hop back and forth between everything very frequently. I think they
Yep.
have each attunement has like a 5 maybe 8 second recharge, but
Yep.
they're individual, so
Yep.
it's
They're and
pretty
they're
awesome.
they're pretty short. I'm not sure. I think you're right. Things like maybe 5 seconds or something. I actually just watched Total Biscuits
Yeah.
PvP, his other PvP Elementalist thing, and it seemed like it was pretty short. And whichever one you just changed out of was the one that was activated on the recharge, I think.
Right.
So, like, if you're in water and you change to fire, then you can't go back to water for another 5 seconds.
Right.
But you can change to any of the other attunements. You can go, 1, 2, 3, 4, almost that fast.
Yeah.
You just change back.
Yeah, that's pretty handy. That adds a lot of diversity to the profession.
Oh yeah.
And something to note is that it is pretty much only ranged. I don't actually think there are any melee attacks for it.
Nope.
There are some
Not that I
pretty
saw.
close range ones, but not any actual melee attacks.
Yeah, it's still. I think Earth is the only attunement that has any. That's the one that's like all up close and personal, kind of in your face deal. And but it's not like I'm taking and hitting you with my staff and my weapon. I'm like throwing rocks at you or creating avalanches or
Right.
something to that effect.
Right, and they're highly mobile. They're great at damage. They have a surprising amount of defense and Earth attunement, and they're an amazing asset to different parties as well as being great by yourself. So
Oh yeah.
they seem just like a really all around great profession, and everyone seems to say that they're a lot of fun to play. So
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of positive feedback about Elementalist gameplay.
yeah. So what would you say are the strengths and weaknesses of the Elementalist then?
Um, as far as I mean, obviously in strengths, you can change your attunements at will whenever you want. With of course, it's on the short cooldown, but you can still change in combat, out of combat, anything. Um, that it's got the ability. I mean, I know that all professions have the ability to quote unquote tank, but with the elementalists, you just change to earth attunement, and even in a PvP situation, you can change to earth attunement. And I think depending on what weapon you have, there's one that's like a projectile barrier where like anything ranged can't hit you.
Yeah,
So which I think that's awesome.
yeah,
And you can just change to the different attunements as you please. And if you need to throw down some kind of healing something or another, you go to water attunement and throw down your little geyser, or so on and so forth.
yeah.
And all that
As
stuff.
Yeah, as far as strengths go, I mean, from what you were saying, yeah, they're high damage, they're great support, they're surprisingly hard to kill,
Yeah.
and they have an amazing ability to GTFO. They've got like two at least different like teleport blink like abilities, and then they also have their like speed boost and a bunch of other stuff. But as far as weaknesses go, I'm sure they have some, but I can't think of any off the top of my head.
From what I've seen, I've only ever seen PvP videos for the Elementalist. I haven't seen a whole lot of PvE videos. In PvE, it seems to me that they're just indestructible.
Yeah.
But in PvP, it seems like there are certain professions that are going to have an edge up on the Elementalist, but that's to be expected from any class. Like, for example, like I'm pretty sure that an Elementalist wouldn't be able to take a warrior for very long, or if multiple people start ganging up on them, then they'll go down pretty quick because they are a cloth class. They're kind of squishy in that regard.
Yeah,
but
they could just hop over into Earth and soak up some of that damage.
Yeah, and then try to run away quickly.
Yes,
but maybe that's just me. I don't know.
No, my mage in WoW was called Freeze Blink Run.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm about to die. Okay, Frost Nova, Blink, and GTFO.
Yeah, exactly. Speed boost done.
Yep. All right.
The only other weakness that I can think, which I wouldn't consider a weakness, it's more of a balance thing, is that they are the only class that cannot change weapons in combat.
Right.
But
because they have the 4 different attunements, they
Exactly.
only have one weapon that they can equip at any one time. So
Yep.
it balances out. It balances out.
Yeah,
So
it does.
So yeah, do you think that it is a good addition to the list of professions? Basically, could they have gone with a different or better version of the profession instead? And my current example is the paladin to the guardian type of example. So do you think they could have gone with anything like that for the elementalist?
Absolutely not. I think that the Elementalist is an incredible profession. It's a mage, but like better.
Well, see, that's exactly what I was going to say. It is that advanced version of the profession. It's a
Yeah.
mage, but an advanced version of the mage. It's a more unique and more fleshed out version of the mage. So, I mean, I don't think you could really do that again into something different. So,
Nah.
and plus, you need that mage-like class, and everyone has to have that just straight up spell profession, or people would get mad.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it fills that role very, very well. It's great for both spike damage and steady damage, and all of its abilities are spell based. Like we've said, there's no melee, so it does that very well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, what do you like and dislike most about the Elementalist? You say you're going to main one, so why? What attracts you to it the most?
The first thing that attracted me to the Elementalist was the fact that it could change between the 4 attunements. That was the first thing that piqued my interest. I was like, I can do 4 different attunements whenever I want. I've never seen that before, and which is the case in a lot of things in Guild Wars 2. Oh, I've never seen that before. But as I grew to, start looking more into the depths of the abilities and everything else, it just started growing on me. And when I was playing WoW, I enjoyed playing my mage. I pretty much just PvP'd on my mage, so I didn't really do a whole lot of PvE stuff with him, but it was a lot of fun to play, even in the PvE situations, and just going around and being able to kill things from a distance and not get hit once, and that's always a good thing. I like that. And just all in all, to be able to just take damage and dish it out just as well, and have different self heal abilities and group heal abilities, and just all kinds of fun different things. It'll keep you busy for a little while. It's not like, okay, I'm going to do this 4 times, and then I'm going to do this 1 time, and then I'm going to do this 1 time, and I'm going to do this other thing 4 times again. And there's no rotation, anything that I can see. It's just do what you want.
Yep.
And I love that.
And yeah, I think that's one of the best things about Guild Wars 2 just in general is there really isn't this idea of a rotation. You just kind of use your abilities, and I mean, well, because you don't have to worry about resource management. You don't have mana. You don't have anything like that. It's just use your stuff, and when it's on recharge, then use your spammable.
Yep.
You know, and I really like that, and I think the Elementalist is going to be, you know, great, because if there's a huge group of enemies, you can switch over to fire and do a whole pile of awesome AoE damage.
Oh,
if
yeah.
there's just one, you can switch over to air and do some amazing spike damage. And I don't know.
I think air you can have like stuns and slows and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, all that. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to trying them out. I don't know if I'll main one, but I'm looking forward to trying them out, definitely. And yeah, so I think what most appeals to me about the Elementalist is their versatility and also their mobility, because that's one thing, you know, while we like, you know, the spellcasters and a bunch of other MMOs, they seemed pretty much faceted to one spot.
Yep.
It was like, I'm standing here casting my fireballs and I can't move. And I love that about I love that about Guild Wars 2, the Elementalist in Guild Wars 2, is that, you know, you can be casting just about anything and moving at the same time. So you can be chasing someone down and still, you know, pounding them with spells, and that's really cool.
Right, it's rain down lightning death while I'm running after you.
Exactly. And the final question is, would you main one? And yours is a resounding yes, I'm sure.
Absolutely, of course.
And mine is a definite maybe. Yeah, I'll definitely try them, but you know, if I really like them, I'll main one. But I'm not expecting to main one at this point. So.
Oh, you will. I'm sure you will.
Well, yeah, I'll definitely play it a lot. But anyways, so yeah, I guess that wraps things up. Are you? Do you have any closing thoughts about the Elementalist?
No, just give it a shot if you enjoy playing caster classes in any of the other MMOs, especially from WoW. If you like the mage, or even the whatever the other darky
Warlock.
shadowy cast. Yeah, Warlock. There you go. The Warlock. If you like any of that kind of stuff, give the Elementalist a shot, and I think you'll definitely be impressed. I certainly was, and I didn't even play a caster as a main in WoW. So
yeah. Well, then I guess that wraps things up. I am XollFury.
And I'm Psychochef.
And we will see you next time.
Later, guys.